Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in for my latest video in the Spill the Tea on Tarot Cards video. My name is Debbie from Spill the Tea Leaf Readings and more. If you'd like a reading with this deck or another, or if you'd like a tea leaf reading, let me know. You can comment below, message me, or email me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. So today I'm going to take a look at the Supernatural tarot card deck from the TV show Supernatural. I think it's technically called Supernatural Join the Hunt, which if you're a fan of the show makes perfect sense, as I am. Why else would I have bought the deck? So the box is a nice collector's box. It has Sam and Dean and the Impala right there for you. Shows you some of the cards on the back. You can see that this deck is by Minerva Siegel and Matthew Skiff. It's a really nice box. And it opens up the way many collector's boxes like this do. And it has a nice pull string inside as well for you. You can also see that it comes with a guidebook, which I'll leave here, but we'll look at that a little bit later. I'm going to start with the major arcana, as I do. So the Fools instead of the Fool, so that both Sam and Dean can be there. For those of you who are fans of the show, you'll understand most of the reasoning behind which characters they picked for which major arcana card. But if you are not a fan of the show, I'm not going to go on and on about it. You'll just have to watch it for yourself, all 15 seasons. Not sure I agree with all of these, but it is what it is. I think the Chariot obviously makes very much sense. Makes very much sense. I'm not sure that was a good sentence. Sorry, guys. So I'm actually rewatching this show for, I don't know, how many times it is that I've been watching it now. I just finished season 10 and I need a little bit of a break. As one can imagine, death is death. I mean, come on. So I'll be getting into the last 5 seasons at some point soon, but it's kind of fun looking through this deck, as I'm rewatching the show. So those are the major arcana cards. Most of them, I think, in my opinion, fit the traditional meanings of the cards, the characters that they chose. I don't know that I agree with all of them 100%, and I think the Emperor and Empress are maybe a little too on the nose, and they could have done a little bit better with that, but I also understand why they made that decision. I'm pausing here because I'm trying to find a nice way to say what I want to say next. The major arcana cards are the best part of the deck. The suits and the way they did them, I'm a little less into. But you can judge that for yourself because we'll go through all the cards. And they put the court cards first, so I kept them that way for you as well. And you can see that they changed the name of the suits a little bit. So we have Bones here. Some of these characters, like, I think that's Claire, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, some of the artwork is really great, and I'm like, oh, that's definitely this character. And sometimes I'm like, is it? So you'll see that we're now getting into pip cards, right? We had Ace of Bones. Now we have Two of Bones. Oh, but this isn't a pip card. How interesting. Oh, but this is a pip card. Not a pip card. Not a pip card. Pip card. Pip card. They're all sticking together. And this is a pattern, like I know that's Castiel, but does it look super like Misha Collins? I'm not sure. So this pip card, not pip card thing is a theme that you're going to see. And this is my biggest complaint about the deck. It's not just that within the suit, it's inconsistent which cards are pips and which have characters, but across all the suits, it's not like all of the 4 cards are pips. It's really random, and some suits have more characters than others. So, but again, you'll see. So here's the pentagrams. And I don't mind the ace cards being pips because, you know, they're aces. They're usually very much like that. It's very hard to tell who this guy is. I have suspicions. I won't say them on camera because I'm not sure. But the artwork, you know, it's not that it's not good looking. I just can't tell who the people are in some cases. Oh, this one's upside down. Sorry about that. A bunch of them are upside down. And of course, the guidebook does tell me who all the characters are, so I could go and look. And in some cases, I have to do that, you know, to see, okay, well, I can't tell who this is, so it doesn't help me read the card. This one's also upside down. I don't think I've actually said this, but bones is wands, pentagrams, of course, is pentacles, goblets is cups. And you can tell that I'm having trouble with the cards, but I can't, they're thick enough that I can't tell if they're sticking together or not, because sometimes they do stick together, and sometimes they don't, but they're really nice thick cards at least. And I hope you're seeing the pattern of like pip, not pip, pip, not pip. It almost feels as if there was a deadline that they were going to miss, and they were like, well, let's just make the rest of the cards pips. And I get that. We all have deadlines, and I'm sure that creating a tarot deck, you know, when done well, takes time. Blades, of course, is swords. But I would have rather had them delay the deck, which I had actually pre-ordered, just so that, okay, see, I know, I'm stopped my sentences midway, I'm sorry. This is the one ace that isn't really a pip card, because you can very clearly tell that's Dean's arm holding the Blade of Cain. Anyways. Yeah, I would have rather that they delayed the deck and done a better job with it overall than released it with half pips and half not. Or at least if they had made it consistent, like if all the, you know, 5s were pips, I'd be like, all right, well, at least there's consistency there, but that's not the case. So it makes it hard to read the deck because you don't really have a lot to go on. And when you do, you have to assume that your understanding of the character is the same as the author's and their intentions. And then, of course, you have to be able to tell who the characters are from the artwork, which in some cases it's crystal clear, in others it's not. And so that's when the guidebook comes in handy. And, you know, again, I'm not trying to throw shade on Minerva Siegel or Matthew Skiff. Matthew Skiff's artwork is really good. It's just in some cases I can't tell the character, but the artwork itself is very nice. And, you know, Minerva Siegel did a good job. I don't know if she's a fan of the show or not. I hope she is, especially after creating this. It's a really nice guidebook that I want you guys to see. Yeah, no offense to them. I really just think they were under the deadline. I don't know if that's true or not, but I hope it was for their sake. Table of contents. even lists the tarot readings that are in the deck. There's a nice introduction about how to understand your tarot deck. It's a few pages long. And then we get into Major Arcana. And there's a nice full picture that goes along with each of these cards. So you can really examine them without having to find the card in your deck. I mean, some of them are on the nose, right? Like the devil is the devil, all that. I really like the World card, actually. But anyways, Minor Arcana also has pictures. They're smaller, but it's nice, and it gives you the upright and reverse meanings. And it goes in the same order that the cards came in, starting with King, Queen, Knight, Page, and then Ace through 10. Not that the cards stay in order, but I don't think I'm going to use this deck, so they will stay in order for me most likely. And then tarot readings, and they have like an introductory page about it, and then how to care for your deck, methods for reading tarot, and then they have some nice spreads that are in theme. Apple Pie Tarot spread, anyone who knows the show, especially if you're a fan of Dean like I am, you know, that's a big deal. Lucifer's Cage Tarot spread. Team Free Will. So those are your 3 tarot spreads that they offer you. And then there's a nice page where you can read about the author and the illustrator. So it's a really nice looking collector's deck. It's not super intuitive, in part at least because of the inconsistencies between Pip and character cards. I also personally don't agree with some of the choices they made for the character cards that they used. I agree with most of the major arcanas. I feel like I could split hairs over those, but some of the minor arcana cards, I don't know that I agree with it. And when I read their description in the book, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I see how that fits. But then it doesn't stick with me because it doesn't have the same resonance for me. So for me to read this deck is really hard because it's not how I would have done it, which isn't their fault. They can't predict how I'm going to feel about this. But with 15 seasons, they had a lot of characters to choose from. And so this deck is a little bit disappointing just because there are so many Pip cards and so many characters they could have chose from. And some of the characters they chose were minor. I mean, Danielle Ackles' character made it into the deck, which is great. Like, Joe's a fun character. We all love Danielle. I'm also a One Tree Hill fan, so like I love Danielle. She's a great actress. But would her character like really have made it into the deck? I don't know. Would she really be a court card? I don't know. Why is Benny strength? Like, Benny's great, but he was really only in 1 season. He gets a major arcana card? I don't know. It's weird. There's all these characters to choose from. And I personally just don't agree with everything. So for me, I don't really enjoy this deck that much. It's a nice deck to have. I don't think I'll ever use it. The cards are a nice thickness. I haven't ever shuffled them. I can't tell you what it's like to shuffle them. I do know they stick together, so I can't fan them out, which, if you know from my previous videos, I'm not a fan of. But, you know, on the other hand, there's a really great guidebook with spreads that I can use with any deck I want, and they don't have to be with this deck. So that's my review. If you're a Supernatural fan, it's a great collector's item to have, but you might not be super, super, super happy with it. Just watch the show instead, I guess. So thanks for watching. If you want me to do a card reading for you with the spread, I will gladly attempt it. But I have lots of other decks that I'm happy to, use in a spread for you. Just let me know. You can comment, you can message me, or you can email me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.